Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. It seems the situation between the legendary actor Sello Maake kaNcube and his wife, Mbewe, is getting worse by the week. In my last video on this topic, we discussed allegations of a protection order, cheating, and physical abuse. If any of this triggers you, this is the time. If you missed the video, I've linked it in the description box. Unfortunately, things have escalated with reports suggesting that Sello narrowly avoided arrest this past Friday after his wife, laid charges against him. We'll dive into all the details, but before we do, as always, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and smash that like button to help the channel grow. Now, let's get right into it. So, according to Sunday World, the legendary actor Sello Maake kaNcube narrowly avoided arrest this past Friday after his wife, Mbewe, filed multiple charges against him, including allegations of exposing her to an infectious disease. Reports suggest that laid these charges about 2 weeks ago. On Friday, the police summoned Sello to the station, where accompanied by her lawyer, also arrived to provide additional details. However, upon realizing he could be arrested and potentially spend the weekend in custody, Sello reportedly countered by filing assault charges against Pearl. This move forced her to drop her charges, leading to both parties to withdraw their respective cases. Among Pearl's initial accusations were claims that Sello exposed her to a transmissible disease, failed to be transparent about his health, and was physically violent with anger issues. She alleged that Sello had assaulted and choked her during several heated arguments. Interestingly, just a day or so before physical abuse allegations and a protection order reports came out, Sello appeared on Relebogile Mabotja's podcast, where he openly discussed his past as a physical abuser dating back to when he was 24 years old.
So this is my 40th anniversary in Mbewe. At 24, I discovered that I have a propensity to beat up my girlfriend.
What?
Yes.
Is this the first time you're sharing about that time in your 20s when
No,
you
it's
were
not.
physically abusive?
No, it's not.
So I'm going to ask you this then as a man, because now you're being vocal about it. What was going through your mind when those moments were happening? Was it like, I'm angry, I need to discipline her? Was it, why is she not, like, I want to get into the mind of Sello, the 20-something-year-old.
I just love the way you're asking me.
No, because I genuinely want to understand what happens in your mind. And I've interviewed somebody who used to abuse his wife. And for him, he was telling me about how his friends would say, you know, you can't let her walk all over you. And there were, you know, situations, other dynamics into play around her making her own money and all of those things. So he said to me, every time Namo Shapa was to discipline her and to put her in her place, right? But I don't want to just take one man's experience and apply it to everybody. So I don't know. And I don't know if it was fear. Like, I just want to get into the mind of the 20-year-old guy.
Nafona, it happened and I would do it. But when I'm alone, then there's that little voice that says, Maran, do wrong. I guess that's what you do. How many times people do things and have a justification for it. And when they hear that little voice that says, Mari wrong, I'm glad that that voice, I think, became more sonorous. And it kept on and it kept on and led me to the point where I would say to her, I said, you know what? I don't understand this. That one moment I say I love you, and then one moment I hate you. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, that causes you to do what? To introspect.
Not for everybody.
Not for everybody, exactly.
Some people use that to deflect.
Even more.
Yeah.
Even
to
more.
now say,
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. And now I think that's where I said, nah, nobody makes me do something that I don't want. So even if I'm doing it, it's not that, it's that person who's making me do it. I am doing it, but why? And then I discovered I'm insecure. I'm jealous. And another thing is, you know, I used to have, I mean, it's still there, a starter, you know.
Really?
Yes. I mean, sometimes when I hit my dramatic pauses in my acting, it's
You can
a
feel.
starter. So I guess a rider.
So for anybody who doesn't know,
Yeah.
other than the confidence issues, sometimes when a person is in a moment of being very angry or whatever, they struggle to express themselves.
Yeah.
So for Wena,
Then it would be. And then that's when I would lash out.
wow. So she never got you arrested. She never went to the police.
Mbewe, man, Relebogile Mabotja guy.
No, and I know gore situation nele bjang, because if you
And
don't go
also,
to the police, they're
yeah.
gonna say these are problems.
Yeah, so you can't ask me that kind of question.
Baby,
but what I will say also, we also have grown up at a time when ibile sometimes some girls would say, "Hey, mushimana sa ushape kore aurat."
He has also admitted that he relapsed after years of not being abusive in relationships, and this was because the woman he was in a relationship with was constantly threatening that he wouldn't see his child whenever he decided to leave. I'm not trying to use his past against him, but one can't help but wonder if perhaps he has relapsed again in his relationship with his wife, Pearl Mbewe.
After having gone on this journey, I lapsed at some point. I'm not mention years, but I lapsed. And in my relapse, in that short space of time when I was in this relationship, there was so much rage that built up in me. I was hurting like nobody's business. And this person was hurting me. Kangwan. Because women have this thing, ho batla o tsamaya. Bare ho tsamaya ho itse ka se botlholo mona ngwana. And that was a sore point to me. One time I even went on my knees, literally. She was standing, I went down on my knees. I said, please, let's not go there. But no, it's okay, no. And one day, you know what? This is not working. Kare, ho tsamaya. It's a no, First I said, I don't know how many times I've told you that this thing is painful. Now I'll make you feel it. On that one, I really, maybe we could have spoken something if ever there wasn't an intervention of some sort where somebody and Tswara saw.
Oh. So you were that angry. She could have died, basically.
Exactly. And that time, Linda, I was blind. It was blind rage.
Oh.
So I think that is why I say, you know, when we talk about these things, let us not talk as if what's in Gardietsahala just out of the vacuum and there is no contributory thing or nothing contributes to the situation.